Good morning, everyone. How are y'all on this wonderful Friday? Good morning, Barbara and Michelle. Looks like you both got here, front row seat. So I'm so happy to see y'all today. As you can see, I am finishing up on my second cup of coffee. So what are you ladies drinking this morning? Although I don't have to ask Michelle. I know what she's always drinking. She always has a cup of coffee, folks. Good morning, Laura, sweetie. How are you doing today? So it is a wonderful Friday. And, is it really a Friday kind of day for you? It is for me because my brain is already trying to make plans for the weekend, So, yep, it's already that Friday kind of day for me. So, as you know, Carrie is having a spa day today. Now, she may jump in here with us in a little bit. I don't know. She didn't say one way or the other. So it may just be me this morning. Froggy may be laying back down for a nap. I don't know. I didn't check on her because I really don't like to wake her up if that's what she needs to do. As you all know, she and her husband Joey have both been battling, I guess, what you'd want to call a summer cold, but it really has knocked her hubby for a loop. And we all know, those of us that have spouses, especially of the male variety, and I'm not kicking you guys, all right, any of you males that are listening, but it does seem like it just would be better if we were sick and not you. I'll just leave it there. Hello, my Duffy Bear. How are you doing? And Mima Dawn, how are y'all today? It is Friday for those of you that still have to work. So hopefully your weekend starts after 5-6 o'clock this afternoon. I think my little Duffy Bear friend there, he should be just about getting off, at least I hope so. Let's see, Barbara says she is drinking her water, but trying to get my laptop to work right after grandkids spilled. Oh no, Barbara. Oh, bless you, sweetie. Oh. Well, at least it was water and not something sweet and sticky, like a soda or milk. Oh my goodness. That's awesome to hear, Duffy. Good morning, Beth. How are you doing, sweetie? It's been a bit. I'm so glad you're able to catch me this morning. So what are the rest of you? What are you drinking? What are you working on? And what's your weather? As I just said, I'm finishing up my Texas pecan coffee that's put out by Cafe Olay here. I believe, I know you can get it on Amazon, folks, but it is carried here in Texas through a Texas homegrown brand, HEB. Good morning, Nana Mama Cat. How are you? I'm doing great. It is Friday. Woohoo! The weather is already 86 degrees. And when I stepped out just a moment ago to take my little pup out because she was doing that puppy walk dance, and I knew something was about ready to happen, stepped outside and oh my goodness, the humidity. But while I was out there standing around with her, making sure she got her business done, a nice little breeze came through. So hopefully, I'm going to say, if you got to be outside here in Texas, especially in the DFW area, and you have to work outside, I'll just pray that you have a breeze blowing, because that did work. Barbara, Mima, coconut coffee and working on a baby blanket. I saw that the other day and I was like, I love coconut, but I don't know if I want coconut flavored coffee. You have to tell me, are you just trying it or have you been drinking it for a bit? Barbara says, having to double or triple or more click on things to get it to register what I want. Oh, sweetie, you might want to just leave that alone and let it dry out a little bit more. Good morning, my Connie. How are you doing, sweetheart? I hear you started a new shawl. Need that sort of weather here? Well, sweetheart, if I could push some of this 86 and muggy weather is what I'd call it your way, I most certainly would. Good morning, Trisha. How are you? Oh, it's really good. You've been drinking it for a while now. Well, I may have to see if I can't get what brand is it, Meemaw Dawn? Do you mind sharing? Well, you tell my little Leslie of the Corn that I said hi back to her. Oh goodness, British weather completely sucks. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I really am. So anyway, my weather is at 86. I believe we're supposed to get to 96 today, but we are supposed to have some breeze. But you know, with the sun shining, maybe it'll burn off some of this humidity is all I can hope for. And I'm still working on the thistle panel of the bookworm blanket. So you'll see me pulling it up and working on it just a little bit here as we're sitting here chitting and chatting. 79 here and waiting for more rain. You know, you people on the East Coast, would you mind sharing some of it, you know, pushing it back this way? We would love to have some of that rain that y'all are complaining about. I know poor Froggy, she looked at her weather yesterday and said that she was supposed to rain today and all of next week. And I just keep looking at her saying, you know, you don't need to be so greedy. You could share a little bit here. I can get it. I can get it from Walmart. Well, I will definitely have to go. I'll have to go on Walmart and see if I can't get me a small little taste test. Yes, you started the Ana Lucia shawl. It's 90 here and rain up till next week. Oh my goodness. Well, Nana Cat, I am so happy for you, sweetheart. Nana Cat is in Oklahoma. She said she had rain this morning and more is coming tonight. Oh, Meemaw Dawn, you had flash floods yesterday? Goodness gracious. Well, you know, we've had a little rain, just enough to make it muggy, but also enough to make the grass grow, which you know what that means. That means the grass is going to have to get cut. But hello, my sweet Nana. How are you? I'm watching you on TV, taking a phone break. It's cloudy and overcast, icky weather in Southern California. Looks like rain. Oh, sweetheart, thank you so much for letting me know that you are here. Connie Meemaw Dawn is saying, please keep the rain. She wants a break. She wants to see some sunshine. So what are the rest of you working on? Like I said, I am working on that big middle panel of the bookworm blanket. It's called the thistle panel. And it really is pretty big, folks. About 42 rows compared to about the like anywhere from 16 to 18 rows for the other panels. So it's going to be a real eye catcher because it's going to be smack dab in the middle of the blanket. And I do hope to have it not only the panel finished, but at least half of the blanket put together so that y'all can kind of have an idea of what it's going to look like. Oh, Meemaw Dawn, that is awesome. Well, I do hope the rain will hold off and it won't be so muddy that you can take your grandkids to the park. Oh, Duffy. You may just have to make yourself sit down, pick up a hook and some yarn and just nothing else go to changing and making single crochets. Good morning, Diane. While I have my late morning coffee, hope you're doing well, and hi to all in the chat. Well, I am just finishing up my cup of coffee. I already have my Fresca sitting over here ready to pop right into when I get through with it. Oh, Nana Cat is working on a virus baby blanket. Whose pattern, sweetie? Always like to to hear not only what you're all working on, but maybe whose pattern it might be. Because you all know I don't like making blankets. I can make a baby blanket because I can get that done, pretty quickly. But I do have to say that finding a mosaic and realizing that it is not like other blankets. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, from Joanna Martinez. Well, I will have to look her up. Is it a pattern you got off of Etsy or Ravelry, or does she have a tutorial? Well, you know what? I had not seen it for years, but just a couple of years ago, I happened to be walking through Walmart, and there it was, and I was like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? And it still tastes just like it did before. I mean, I will choose this over any other soft drink. Really will. There's my Leslie. How are you doing, sweetheart? You finally got off work, so you're done for the week. I know what that means. You're going to be working on your Hearts on Fiber project, aren't you? I have already started mine. I'm working on the little fairy house that's going to go along with my little fairy that I'm going to. Oh, you're tired, but you're okay. Well, take a little nap before you go and pick up your hook and crochet. Although if I know you, if the weather's good, you're going to be out there in your backyard planting, aren't you? Yep, yep, yep. So let me give you a little bit of history that I dug up about the day Friday. Now, Friday is kind of I have to get some cleaning, throwing out and organizing done first, but then I'll be working on my mystery project. Well, that will be awesome. Diane says, hi, Dawn. I'm coming down with something. Nothing serious, just a little feverish and achy. How are you doing? More importantly, Dawn, how are you and your family doing? Good morning, Amy. How are you, sweetheart? Thank y'all for jumping in here. Anyway, Friday. Friday comes from two different sources. One is the Greek god Frigg. I'm sure I'm not saying that right because, anyway, if my stepdaughter was here, she would tell me either, yes, that's how you pronounce it, or no. She was Ogun's, the Greek god, the big honcho one, is his wife, and she is associated with love and marriage. Now, Freya is associated with the Roman gods, and she is also associated with being the goddess of Venus. Now, a little bit of history about Friday is, since both of these women had to do with love, did you know that they are associated with the precursor to marriage? And most marriages, now notice I said most marriages are planned on Saturdays. Now, there have been occasions where you hear someone getting married in the middle of the week or possibly on a Sunday, and most of the time that's to accommodate families, or if you're just not going to go through the whole hoopla of the church and the big fancy wedding, you might haul off to Vegas, and or maybe you just go down to the Justice of the Peace. But these two women were chosen for Friday to signify the approaching marriage of the young maidens at the time. And so in order for this day to be designated as the precursor to the marriage, they set aside Freya for, like I said, these two women that were all about love. And that's where the custom of the night before or the day before and the day of, the bride and groom could not see each other. Isn't that kind of cool? And in order for Friday to hold the place in the day of the week that it does, our Roman calendar signified that Sunday had to start the week off for us. So, although many of us may say that the first day of the week is Monday, officially it is Sunday. And as we go along here in the next few weeks or so, I'll be giving you a little bit of history of each day and why it holds its place in the number of the days of the week. So, anyway, that's a little bit of history on Friday. Now, you also know that Friday can sometimes get a bad rap, and one of those raps is coming up next week, and that's Friday the 13th. But I'll leave that story for next week, and we'll discuss it then. Yes, I know. I had to look it up. Why is Friday why does it hold what we would consider the 6-day slot that it does? And that's because it represents the day that we set aside for love and anticipation for marriages that always happened on the last day of the week, which is Saturday. These days, I don't see how anyone can justify the cost for a big family wedding. They have some crazy high prices for everything. Isn't that the truth, Diane? Oh, my goodness. Good morning, Nisi. How are you doing, sweetheart? Are you getting ready for work or are you off today? Yep, we have a Friday the 13th coming up. Oh, Michelle, you go talk to your mama. She's way more important than I am. You're off today and you're resting. Well, that's great, sweetie. I hope this means you have a 3-day weekend. So as I said, I'm working on my bookworm blanket at the moment. I also already have my notes written down for the May section of my calendar blanket, which I hope to be getting done and finished before next week's posting. And speaking of posting, oh my goodness, about the time I'm ready to get my groove back on, and getting back in my routine of things that I want to get done, we're going to move again. So hubby starts out for his next project next week, and I will be following him a week after that because I will be taking my camper with me this time, and I don't drive with that thing behind me. It's a 41-foot trailer, and yeah, I'm about my limit is 16 foot, which is a boat trailer. I can do that, but 41 feet, that's kind of pressing my depth perception there just a little. Yes. I was seeing that people are paying over, I know, $30,000 to $40,000 for a wedding. Oh, we used to always tell our kids, we'll pay for the wedding or give you money and you can elope. Which one do you want? Again, well, it's going to be Utah this time, just southwest of Salt Lake City. I've never been up in that part of the country, so I am very excited. Now, my husband's been out there over the lifetime of his career and the things that he does several times, but this will be my first time, so I'm so excited. And it's going to be interesting to see how Lacey reacts. She is definitely going to have a little more room in the camper than having to, sit in a motel room. But it's always interesting to see how she reacts when we go to new places. I know. That's what I'm saying. Nowadays I would look at one of my kids, if they were getting married for the first time, I would say, you can have a costly wedding or you can have a down payment on a house. Which one do you want? Woo! Me too, Diane. and all of the area around it, I'm hoping that hubby will have weekends off so that we can make day trips. Because, travel in a lot of other states is not as long and tedious as it is here in Texas. What would take us 3 to 4 hours to go see something, hopefully only take me maybe an hour, hour and a half at the most. So that would make a great day trip. Yeah, $30,000, $40,000. Oh, it does. I know, I know. My stepdaughter's husband is going to, excuse me, drive me up there, and then I'm going to fly him back home. But I'm very excited about that. And then after that, hubby and I'll be traveling together, so he can drive our truck with the big old camper behind it, and I'll drive his truck. But yes, I'm very, very excited. And I believe Carrie and I figured out that we are only 6 hours apart, so we can meet somewhere in the middle. I am so excited. I know, Mima Dawn. I thought that that was such a fabulous idea. Yep. Oh, they do, Niecy? Where? Or, well, what part of Utah do they live in? I'm sure that worked out great for them, Mima Dawn. I mean, the just inviting, and I'm hoping that that's what they did, was just invited a food truck caterer to come and be there. And, they made their money from the folks being there, or I'm assuming that's how it went. I went to the Great Salt Lake when I was young. You will love the scenery. Oh, I'm so excited. I will definitely be sharing then pictures with you guys and any little excursions I take out there. I should have been doing that all along, but I just hadn't. So what about some of the rest of you? Some of the travels you've been on? Really? You live 8 hours away. Well, Niecy, we may have to plan a weekend halfway between us. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Oh, I do too, Diane. Oh my goodness. Discovery Channel and National Geographic have always been two of my favorites, and even the Travel Channel, because there are going to be so many places, like especially across the pond, that I know I will never get to because I can't sit in an airplane that long. In fact, I don't like flying, period. And see how they even built homes. That's right, into the rock sides. Really neat place to travel to. Mima Dawn. Oh, she had a set menu and paid for it all, but it was much cheaper than a sit down meal. Oh, that's nice. And yes, it would be fun, wouldn't it, Niecy? We will definitely have to make plans once I get up there and get settled. Might even make it a three-way hookup, you, me, and Carrie. Wouldn't that be neat? So yeah, where are some other places? Where are some neat places that some of the rest of you have been? Now, I do have to admit, I have been to Seattle. It was a week-long conference there. I went up with my husband, and I have been to Portland. I've also been to Long Beach out in California. That was really pretty. Oh my goodness. I didn't make it across because we stayed in a big hotel there again for another conference. But right across the little inlet where we were staying was a bar out on a little peninsula. And if I remember correctly, it had over 100 beers on tap. I didn't know there were that many beers, folks. Quite honestly, now I'm not a big beer drinker. There are a couple of flavors that I like every once in a while, But oh yeah, yeah. I don't remember Wayne going over there to look at it. He might have, and that may be the reason why I know there was over 100. For some reason, 130 is clicking around in my brain, but I'm not real sure. Yeah, Diane. Well, I've never been a big fan of flying. Of course, I don't like heights, and that's number one reason. Um, and it doesn't matter if I sit by the window or all the way on the inside. It's just, yeah. Don't think I'd want to fly anywhere. It's been years since I've gone on vacation, but I've always enjoyed the beach. My ex never was into traveling to places to see, or to explore. Oh my goodness. Yeah, beer can be icky. Mm-hmm. But there's a couple that I like. There's one that's I think it's called Blue Moon. It has kind of a citrusy taste to it, so I do like that. Oh, Meemaw Dawn's only 30 minutes from the beach. Come on, girlfriend Diane, she's saying. I love the beach. I really do like the beach. And that was the one thing that I was kind of disappointed about in Florida is that a lot of the beach area is like privately owned. Or maybe I shouldn't say privately owned, but there's just not much that many public accesses. Okay, that's what I'll say. I'm not saying that there aren't any. There are some, but you really have to know where they're at. That's all I can say. And many places won't let you take your animals. So that's, also been a hindrance for us. But the beaches in Florida are beautiful. White sands just about everywhere we went and looked. It was just gorgeous. We did go to, when we were down in Three Rivers, we weren't that far from South Padre. And so we took a Saturday. It was really funny, folks. We were thinking, because we were smack dab in the middle between San Antonio and Corpus Christi. And so we got up one Saturday, hubby happened to be off, and we said, San Antonio or Corpus Christi? Well, we looked at the weather, and San Antonio was supposed to be raining all day. So we said, no, we'll go to Corpus. On our way over there, we had a couple of really good rainstorms, and we're like, well, maybe we won't make it to the beach. But we did. Didn't get out because the surf was very angry that day, I guess you could say, because it was quite windy and cloudy. But we did get to go and at least see the beach, and that's what I wanted to do. So anyway, Diane asked Dawn if she went to the beach often, and she says we don't go often this time of the year. Yeah, I'm sure it's a little chilly, isn't it? I was surprised by that too. Years and years ago, we went to the Hollywood area in Florida, and back then it was mostly private. Yes, it is. Oh, Mama Gwen, my grandmother lived in Corpus Christi, and I enjoyed visiting there. Yes, I knew what you were talking about. I was raised in Corpus Christi until I went out to the children's home. So we would go down to, if you remember much about Corpus Christi, along Ocean Drive, there are three heads. One was, I think it's one L head and two T heads, or maybe the other way around, one T head and two L heads. I don't remember. But there was a park along the area there before they started getting eat up by all the hotels that are there now, called Cole Park. And my grandmother used to take us down there all the time. It was really, really pretty. And now the park has grown bigger because I have been back to Corpus several times and driven down memory lane there. Oh, goodness. Diane says we came to find out that Burt Reynolds had a huge home on the beach there. I forgot the name of it right there. Name of the town right there. Yeah, I don't guess I ever knew that. Meemaw Dawn, I don't like people. That's kind of the way I am. I really have gotten to the point in my old age where I'll just stay at home, watch things on TV, like if I want to travel, I'll just pull up and see what I can find on the television or YouTube. There's great channels out there that um, love to show us where they've been traveling to. And so I'm more than happy to watch it that way. Oh, we are here at the half hour. And yes, I know Carrie's not here, but I do have my little devotional book here sitting with me. So I will go ahead and read one for you. The Miracles of Mercy. Lift your hands and give thanks to God for his marvelous kindness and for his miracle of mercy for those he loves. That comes from Psalms 107, verse 8. When you show up in power in my life, God, my grateful heart can't help but praise you for your goodness. You do not fail in your love, and you never will. In the waiting, help me to remember your faithfulness marks everything you do. It is not foolish to hope in you, for you, God, will always prove to be trustworthy. When I see your provision and answers to prayer in the lives of those around me, I can celebrate with as much gratitude as if it were my own fulfillment. Watching you show up for others will encourage my heart on my own journey if I let it. Your faithfulness to one is your faithfulness to all. I take heart today, and I will celebrate with those who celebrate and pray in believing with those who are still waiting. My kind Father, you don't stop working miracles of mercy. You haven't changed the way you operate, and you certainly haven't given up on us. When I struggle to believe, may my heart be encouraged by what you are already doing for others as well as for me in my own life. So open my eyes to see your goodness where it currently is. There you go. God's mercy never fails, and it never gives up on any of us. All right, let me see what I might have missed in the chat. Crowds stress me out way too much. They do me too. They really do. You are so welcome, Diane, and I think it's very fitting for today and in this time. So, what are y'all going to be working on the rest of the day and maybe throughout the weekends? Do any of you have some interesting plans showing up? I know I'll be getting some things ready to ship my husband out next week. Have to separate out what he can take with him and what I'm going to have to keep with me and get loaded in the trailer. And then, as I shared with you earlier, I'm going to be working on my this beautiful teal panel here for the thistle section of the bookworm blanket. If I can find out where I left off. Maybe it's down here. Oh, there it is right there. My grandmother wants a rose bouquet shawl now that she's seen her cousins. Oh my goodness, do any of y'all follow Mikey from the Crochet Crowd on Facebook? I saw that he posted a beautiful one that he just did, and it looks pretty big, folks. It's a beautiful, beautiful shawl, of course, in the circular design with some red roses on the outside of it. It's really pretty. He said it's coming soon. Oh, Michelle, she's making a basket to fit the plastic Walmart bags for a trash can. I will also be finishing a blanket. That is so nice. Yes, he is, Nisi. He truly is. You follow him on Facebook? I do too, and on YouTube. I love to see what it is he comes up with. Diane says, I'm just wanting to clean this weekend, but not sure I'll feel up to it. I haven't even started my bookworm blanket. Oh, are you enjoying it? Yes, I am. There have been just a couple of little hiccups for me, but I think it was more because wasn't reading the pattern correctly. So yeah, I assumed, which you know you should never do, I assumed that a stitch was supposed to be done a certain way. And after about 2 or 3 rows, you step back and you look at it and you go, why is this not working out? So I stopped myself, went back and read the entire instructions for that particular panel. I was like, oh, I had left out a couple of chains here and there. Yeah, that'll do it. Don't you think? Yes, they are, Mama Gwen. That's why I like it, and I can't wait for him to do the tutorial on it. But whenever he showed himself rolling it up, oh my! You talk about a beautiful bouquet of flowers. It reminded me of what the young ladies would receive, like at the end of a pageant, the crowning and everything, the big beautiful bouquet of roses. That's exactly what it reminded me of. So pretty. So like I said, I can't wait to see his tutorial. And if any of you have been following him, he did something to he's got to his bird cage outside. I don't think it was the chicken coop. Maybe it was chicken coop. I've been watching so many of those that have started taking and painting the mesh on the doors black so that you could see right in there. I thought, oh my goodness. It just totally changed the look of the cage, number one, but it also, I don't know, it just changed the whole viewing. There you go. That's the word I want to use. It's like your eye is not drawn to the wire on the doors anymore. You're able to see what is inside or behind the panels there. It was super, super pretty and awesome. I really like that. And the next thing I know, a bunch of other videos are popping up. You get to reading or watching one video, and Aunt and Uncle Nisi said live in North Ogden, Utah. Yes, yes, Diane. She says she likes to watch Mikey when he is in the creative part of his pattern and he shares it in a live. You really can learn a lot while watching his creative process. That is exactly right. And I just think it's wonderful that he loves sharing that with us. That's why I like a black chain link fence. They don't detract from the landscape. Exactly, Mimondon. And I really, really had never thought about that until I saw it. About 7 hours from here with gas breaks, it will take about 8.5 hours. Oh my goodness, that's a whole day's travel, sweetie. And that would really be pushing it for me, is all I got to say. Years ago in New York, they wanted to have everyone remove the chain link fixes. They didn't like the looks of them. Well, I am not one to I don't like being closed in by the wooden fences. You know what I mean? I like to, and again, that goes back to my, I don't like confined spaces, I guess you could say, all that much, especially when I'm outside. I like to be able to see everything around me. But when you live in a neighborhood, you don't want to see what your neighbors are doing. You definitely don't want them seeing what you're doing. So yeah. So I can see the need for fences. But I don't have anything against the chain link fence. Do y'all? Ah, Trisha says, Mama Gwen knows best. Your package will be going out on Monday, and sorry for the delay. Oh, Trisha, that's awesome. We had one served as a divider for one of our patios, and we had metal strips that were weaved in between them, and it made a nice pattern. Yes. Hold on just a minute. I have a pup that needs to go out. Oh, sorry, guys. We have one little pup that when she wants to go out, if she's in her cage, she will start barking, which I think is great, don't you? Yes, Mama Swift, Trisha was in here from the very beginning. She's probably just been sitting back, lurking and crocheting like she always is. Oh, now you have some happy mail to look forward to, Mama Gwen. Isn't that neat? But like I said, I'm just going to sit here and work a little bit on this, a little bit more on this thistle panel for my bookworm blanket. Try to keep up with what you guys are doing in the chat there. I do hope that the weather will hold out for those of you that want to get out and do some planting or sightseeing or shopping. It's a blanket I won on Dawn Aaron's channel. Oh, how sweet. Diane said, Gwen, good to see you too. I'm sorry I didn't say hi sooner. That's nice. And you know what? Speaking of shopping, I hope that many of you have seen that Michaels has bought the proprietary rights to Joann's yarns. So they will be expanding their fabric section and obviously their yarn section. But we should start seeing here pretty quickly. Big twist again over at Michaels. So that is awesome. Hello, Vima. How are you doing? Diane says, I'm making 2 crochet alongs of wands pattern. I'm not thrilled with my colors. Oh, no. I am so sorry, sweetie. Yes, I totally agree with you. But, you know, I am glad that now there's going to be one place in which we can go and get Big Twist again. I know that they're not changing the label, or that was what I read and kind of understood. And I think they're going to start getting it out there just as soon as they can. But I do also know those of you that love to sew and work with fabric, that that part of the store is going to start, excuse me, you're going to start seeing a huge influx of them building up their fabric section and notion section. And so that, you know, they can do pretty quickly. As far as the yarn is concerned, with the big twist label. It's going to take them a little bit to get it in production and get it going, but they did say by the end of the year or later this year is what they said. I'm not going to say end of the year. We'll start to be able to see our favorite big twist. But in the meantime, we're just going to have to keep, stay on the lookout for it from other places, that go in and buy in liquidation inventory. So keep your eyes out there. Like I said earlier in the week, I happened to be on Walmart, and I always check their yarn selection. They do have, Walmart is selling some of Big Twist plush. So you can get it. I think it comes in 2 and 3 packs. And where else was I looking the other day? I can't remember. Yes, Diane, Michael's of all places. They never have anything in the store, and we'll just hope they have more availability to see things in hand. Well, this might just be the push that they needed to, I'm not going to say get their act together, but I totally know what you mean. I can find more from Michael's online than I can in the store. So it will be interesting to see how Michael's evolves with this new acquisition. But you can go out there and Google news update from Michael's. I just happened to get the email this morning. Yes, Walmart has some, Hirschner's has some, and Mary Maxim. But what they have right now came from the liquidation process. But since Michael's now has the proprietary rights to it, I imagine once it's gone there, we'll only be able to find it at Michael's. I mean, I don't know how all of that works, but I would assume that that's what it means. So it's almost like if you want to get some and get some on a good deal right now, you might want to head over to Mary Maxim and Hirschner's and Walmart and grab up what you can. I know, very interesting on how it's unfolding. That's, yes, because like I said, they bought the proprietary rights to Big Twist. So what we're seeing out there in some of the other sites is what has already been made up. And I'm sure, like I said, what they bought through liquidation. But as far as who can ask for it to be made and who's going to sell it exclusively, I believe is going to be Michael's, now that that's already finalized. But hey, guys, if you're like me, I don't care who has it, so long as we did not lose the yarn. I'm just very, very happy that somebody has it now, and we know that we can continue buying the Big Twist. I wish them luck with it, and I'm glad to see that it's still out there. You and me both, Diane. Because it is a very good yarn. I mean, I mainly buy their the Big Twist 4-weight. I'm not a bulky yarn person. But I know that there are many out there that love the bulky yarn, so ooh, got a cramp in my wrist. Don't get those very often. maybe take a break. You know, we talked about this once before. How many of you actually, whenever you sit down to crochet, go through little finger exercises, you know, and twisting of your wrist and that kind of thing? I don't always do it, but, and I didn't do it right then, so I probably should have. Yeah, a little stiff this morning because I have been doing quite a bit of crocheting the last few days. Been wanting to get caught up on some projects. And funny, I never really used their yarn. The stores we had here were opposite sides of the city and a long drive, and I didn't want to do it. Then during all of this, I'd gotten some menagerie from Dawn A. Oh, good. Well, I walked in one evening when I got here to Arlington and found that they were just packed. But then I waited a little too long to go back and finally, because I was making my list of what I wanted, the colors and that kind of thing. And I really, when I walked in just to see what they had, I wasn't prepared to just start filling up my basket. Plus, you know, it was at 50% off. And I was thinking, well, if I wait another week or two, it'll get to the 70, which it did. And, but they closed a few days early before the May 30th deadline. So it was like, oh, okay. Let's see. Diane says she went shopping for those that couldn't get to them. And well, it's a beautiful yarn. Well, that's great. I'm glad she was able to snag some of that for you, Diane. I mean, it's not like I really needed the yarn, but you know, you like to get a good deal when you can. Hello, Beth. My sister-in-law called right after you started, and I'm back now. Well, sweetie, you know, like I was telling Michelle earlier, family comes before this live. So you definitely need to keep up with what's going on with family. She was so weak to do that for those that couldn't get to it. That's right. I know that there were several creators that were willing to go shopping. And I was going to be willing to go shopping for a couple of people on my list too. But like I said, when I finally got my act together to go shopping, she was already closed. Which just means that I didn't need the yarn, I guess. Just hated that I missed out for those that were looking for some specific colors, you know, and that kind of thing. Vima, if I have to buy yarn, I have to go to other states as we don't have any in our states, only online, and it's expensive. Yes, especially if you have to pay for the shipping. So I always I put stuff in my cart and wait until I get a free shipping coupon or, you know, today only free shipping, and then go in and see what it is I can still get in my cart that would qualify for that. And two, being here in a big city as I am at the moment, I can go to the store and pick it up, or I can also have the store, you know, do it as a pickup, and I can send my hubby to go over there and pick it up for me, and he doesn't mind doing that. But for him, it's just the idea of being able to get out of the house. I want to remind everyone that we have Southern Sisters this evening at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 Central, and 4 Mountain, 3 Pacific. I think I got those right. I'm not real sure if it's at Froggy's or Sherry Kay's house, but be sure that you're looking for your notification of that. And we will be back on Sunday at Twisted Fiber Friends. We will be at Froggy's house that Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Mountain, 1 o'clock Pacific. So do hope to see all of you there. I believe Froggy's going to be knitting for us a washcloth. And I am so happy that she is doing something knitting related because I always feel like that we tend to forget about you knitters. And so I'm just happy that she's going to do that. So if you are a knitter and you want to follow along with her pattern, be sure that you have some cotton and your knitting needles that you prefer to use. If you're not a knitter or you're just learning, this will be a good chance for you to also follow along. Are you able to do that often, Vima, to go to another state? And is it far? Beth says, I'm thinking, I don't know what's going to happen where I live. There's no Michael's anywhere near me. Well, I guess you'll have to go online, sweetheart. Oh, I know, Vima. I know. Oh, look at there. There's our Carrie.
I'm
How
just, I'm
hard?
sneaking in really quick because I need to talk to you after the live. So
Okay.
call me. Call me.
I sure will, sweetie.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
So did you get a haircut along with the dye today? Oh, she popped out. Goodness. Maybe they will open new stores now. Oh, I know. I know. Vima says she's never been to a store. Oh,
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to leave.
oh,
Yeah, I'm, I'm upset that y'all didn't tell me how funny my hair looked Wednesday. Hi, Emma.
it didn't look funny. We just knew that it was time for a haircut.
Oh, okay. You should have seen the look on my hairdresser's face. She started laughing at me. Hi,
Oh.
Diane.
Oh yeah.
And then a cat. But I am going to go. I just wanted to pop in and make sure that you called.
I will call you as soon as the live is over, sweetie.
Okay. I love you.
Love
I
you
love you
too.
guys. You guys take care and I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is bingo. So
At
don't
what time?
forget. 8 o'clock Pacific.
Okie dokies.
Okay. Love you guys.
Love you too, sweetie.
Bye.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye.
Diane, you never look funny, Carrie. Leave that to me. I got that down pat. I'm sure all of us, Diane, at one time or another can say that we have that down pat. Oh goodness. So don't forget Saturday bingo over at Carrie's tomorrow. That she said 8 o'clock her time, which is Pacific. So that'll be 9 Mountain, 10 Central, and 11 Pacific. So yes, we'll go have some fun with Saturday bingo. And then I reminded you about Southern Sisters tonight and TFF on Sunday. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go, folks. Thank you so much, each and every one of you that popped in here to share some of your time with me this morning. I greatly appreciate it. I always do. Because like I like to say, you could have been somewhere else, but you chose me. So thank you so much. And always remember to be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know, could be your very special light that they're waiting to see. And remember, we all have a light, so let it shine. I love you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.